Charlie Harper from the UK Subs, and you have been watching Talking Records.
Remember the spark that ignited this punk rock fire inside of you that turned you from an R&B singer and hairdresser into a punk rocker?
I used to go down a club, a gay club called Shagaramas, well, women only. And Friday nights they had bands, and some friends' bands were playing, so they let us in. And it was a great bar, really great bar. And we went down there a few times on a Friday night to see the bands. They opened till 3 in the morning, so you know it was after all the pubs and clubs. So about a few weeks passed, and we thought, yeah, let's go to Shagaramas. You know, someone else was on there, and it all changed. It turned into Roxy, the first punk bar. So went down there and it's around. It's all like a load of boys down there, you know, like hardly any girls, and it was like, what's happening? So they told us that change hands. It's now the Roxy, and they have bands every night. So I started going down there a lot more, sitting punk rock bands, and I was playing in a rock and roll band, and I said, like, you've got to come down to the Roxy. This is the future of rock and roll, these guys. And that's what happened, you know, we just got involved in punk rock.
Seeing the Damned for the first time live also had an impact on you, right?
Yeah, I think they, not the first band I saw down there, but they were playing, I think, the night that I took the band down there, and they immediately they were blown away, and so they wanted to form a rock band, and I wasn't, a punk rock band, and I wasn't invited. At 32 I was too old, so they went off and formed their little punk rock band, which turned out to be shite. And then Nicky Garrett joined me, and you know, everything, the rest is history.
A few months ago I interviewed Justin Sullivan from New Model Army, and he said that punk rock was not so much a form of music, it was more of a cultural revolution. It was more about the spirit you do things with than the skills.
Yeah, there was, you know, everything in it. The whole culture, whole new culture, art, design, everything about punk was like a whole new world. It was the alternative society. So, you know, you either got involved in it and worked with it, worked for it, or but by the end of 1977, all the business people had got involved, and a lot of the original punks have left, and it was still only in 1977. You know, so, but there was enough people who came from outside London and saw it, and then, you know, it was happening in Manchester as well, one big city, and even Birmingham, you know, like, so, and then it went more and more north until about 78, 79, it was almost worldwide.
Before releasing your debut album, you had the chance to record 3 sessions with John Peel. So what was the influence it had on the career of the Subs?
Well, when we done the Farewell to the Roxy album, John Peel, you know, was the main London DJ, and he kept playing our tracks. So Pete Davis, our drummer, said, like, we should call him and try and get a slot on his show, and so I did, and he was really interested, and he even told us that we should make a record straight away and where we should make it. This little studio up in Cambridge, you know, 100 miles out of London, but we went up there and recorded CID, and then he played them again, and then we got a record deal. It was all too easy, really. He had a wide, you know, amazing wide range of anything that was edgy and not pop, you know. The nearest he got was that Irish band that he loved, Teenage Kicks, you know, the band that recorded that, and because it was a perfect record.
You said an interesting thing once about music industry taking advantage and they're chewing up the artists, that the bigger they are, the more is taken from them. So with you having more than 4 decades under the belt, did you learn to maneuver this world of the music industry to not be taken advantage of?
Yeah, that was a purpose move, most of the way. Some of the first band, I mean, we went on Top of the Pops, and that was like the BBC. I mean, that was uncommercial. It's BBC is paid by the country, the taxpayer, or the people, whatever. It's not commercial. It was partly by design that we kind of skipped all the commercial people or the companies, and partly because we weren't doing things right. We weren't going on the road and promoting an album. You know, we just do what we wanted to do. So we had completely artistic freedom of what we wanted to do. And if you go with the business people, you can't do that. They tell you what to do, and you know, we wouldn't do that.
You said that playing in a club had this magic. This is like your favorite environment to play, the little clubs, right?
Yeah, so it's like on this tour, we haven't had a barrier from the stage yet, which is great. Let's just have a look. No barrier, and if they try and put one up. The promoter normally asks, like last night he asked, do you want a barrier? And we said no. So it's very simple. You know, like pop stars have barriers, because idiots follow pop stars and just want to grab them and have a piece of them. We're not in that world. It's not the same world.
The UK subs history is surely a goldmine of anecdotes and crazy stories. You said that Rod Stewart taught you how to play harmonica. You played once in an Argentinian prison. Do you have like a favorite stories, and have you ever thought about writing them down as a band biography?
Well, I am doing that now. Yeah, I wrote my autobiography, and it could come out late this year or early next year.
You mean the band biography or your biography?
My autobiography, yeah. My whole life, as a child and growing up, going to school. All the bands I was in before the UK subs and then UK subs.
As the years go by and people get older, they tend to stick to the older music that they know, like the 70s or the 80s, but you always emphasize that you follow the new music. That it's important to stay on top of what is going on now, what is the pulse of punk rock right now.
I love all kinds of music. I was telling one of the support band about Carl Wolf from Camina Burana, how we actually started doing it in Nuremberg like 40 years ago. And then we left the tape in the van, and then the Dam got hold of the tape, Camina Burana, and they use it as an intro tape. And then Hanoi Roxy used it as an intro tape. Then every fucker used it as an intro tape. So yeah, it's in adverts and everything in England. You know, it's a well-known piece of music, but a great piece of music. Then, and that's 17th century or something. I listened to a band called Tuba Skinny. They're from New Orleans. They play all New Orleans jazzy blues stuff, and got a brilliant singer. This woman singer's absolutely brilliant, best singer around, I think. And they're street singers. They sing in the street. I've always got a favourite new band, like I suppose what's the name? Amel and the Sniffers. You know, brilliant band going around now, playing live everywhere. They've really caught on.
They have a great front woman.
Yeah.
They have a great front woman.
Yeah. And another great front woman is, can't remember her name, Paternoster, is her second name. Anyway, can't remember what they're called. Oh yeah, Screaming Females, just a 3-piece. She plays great guitar and she's a great singer, and just have a guy and another guy on bass, guy on drums. and brilliant band. They remind me of the old Led Zeppelin when we used to see them in pubs.
Thank you for watching my interview with Charlie Harper from UK Subs. If you liked it, don't forget to check other videos next to my head, and I will see you next time.